Welcome back to another episode of the Peace, Power, and Purpose podcast. Help us spread awareness for men's mental health and the gospel of Jesus Christ by ringing the bell and subscribing to the channel. This is the Peace, Power, and Purpose podcast, and I'm your host, Steve. Tonight, I am joined by Brady. Brady is the founder of Battle Forged Foundation. He's here to talk about his organization. We're going to cover his career in law enforcement and how mental health impacts life for a police officer and kind of the dark side of law enforcement. While you're watching, go ahead and ring that bell and subscribe to the channel. I drop new episodes every week, and you don't want to miss one. Brady, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate you joining me tonight, brother.
Hey, I appreciate you having me, man. Seriously, you're doing great work. I
Thanks,
love the
man.
stuff you're doing, the podcast
Thanks.
you're putting out, the guys you're interviewing, kill it.
Yeah.
Keep it up, man. Seriously.
Thanks, man. It's really taken off, dude. I think I know I've got episodes every week in December, and I've already got halfway through January, so it's
Yeah, you're
rolling,
doing
man.
like multiples a week, dude. You're doing like what, 3,
Yeah.
4 a week?
Right now
Jeez.
I average at least 2, but the weekends I don't have my little boy. I'm trying to get a couple in on Saturdays. So I think last week I knocked out 6. But
Jeez,
I'm
man.
I'm
Look
just
at you
just
go.
cruising, all gas, man, no brakes. trying
Hey,
to crush
you
it,
know
dude.
what? The grind will pay off, man. And I love what you're doing with it, the peace,
Thanks,
power,
man.
purpose. Like I like
Yeah.
how it's Christian based, you're a man of faith. I totally dig that. Seriously.
Thanks,
I
man.
appreciate
Yeah.
that. We
No,
need
for
more of
sure,
it.
man. Yeah, yeah. Amen, we do. Well, Brady, let's kick it off, man. Let's kind of start from the beginning. Let's unpack your story. Where did you grow up, and can you kind of give us an overview of what childhood was like for you?
Absolutely. So yeah, I grew up in Utah, a little city called Layton, Utah. Um, I've lived there most of my life. I still live in Layton, Utah. Let's be honest. But I grew up there. Had a brother and a sister, so 3 of us. I mean, we were latchkey kids, man. So we grew up in that generation. We're like
Yeah.
the Gen Xers, kind of like the
Mm-hmm.
1980s when I was born. So like you can imagine all you Gen Xers, millennials, early millennials, well, associate with millennials nowadays. Not just joking. No, but what happened, so I grew up and in Layton, loved athletics. Grew up in the LDS church here in Utah, and anyway, we're really religious and did our thing. Got really big into sports. I grew up taking care of my younger brother and younger sister. And I remember going to school in elementary, coming home and watching them, and like I was responsible for them. I could honestly say like 3rd, 4th grade, we walk home, and we were there till parents came home from work. So in that kind of scenario, you learn to be pretty responsible up front. Whether I was back then or not, I mean, obviously we had our fun, but learn to take care of your own.
Mm-hmm.
And given a list of chores, you walk through the door, you got to get them all done. And it's just a different time. There wasn't internet,
Yeah.
there wasn't phones, had a
Yeah.
Nintendo back in the day, but like I was only allowed to get on that when I was allowed to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's kind of my upbringing. Went through, elementary, moved a couple times.
Okay.
Moved once I was in I started 2nd grade, moved into another school, and I stayed there pretty much until I hit junior high. I guess they call that middle school other places. We go here in Utah, we go K through 6, and then go 7 through 9 is junior high, and then 9 or 10th through 12th is high school.
Okay.
So that's kind of how it's broken down. But yeah, we stayed there, had a bunch of good friends. I was a very athletic kid, baseball, uh, football, wrestling was kind of my passions. Played some basketball too. Was never very good at basketball. I'm only 5'8" guy. Like I'm not built for basketball.
Spud
I
Webb.
no, dude. I could handle the ball. I could never shoot. Just brick.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
So that's how it was growing up, and just me and my sister and my little brother, and we had a blast. Had a good childhood. Parents worked bone to provide for us. I remember looking back, there was times when we didn't have any food, man. Like just when I was really little, and I didn't know any different. I mean, eating bread and milk and like just rice and gravy, things that were cheap. And I just thought that was normal. And
Yeah.
no, I was a happy kid. They did all they could to provide for me, but they ended up making making themselves. My dad started a business, computer wholesale. Did really well. Um, by the time I was about, I don't know, from 10th grade on, did really well in that business model. And I'll be honest, I didn't know any different being poor or rich, man. My love was athletics. I loved
Mm.
sports, dude. Like I lived for it. Like the only reason I made grades probably is because I had to stay on the field,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that was my life. Um, but that was my childhood. I mean, football was a huge thing for me. Baseball, I was huge into baseball too. I didn't start my wrestling stuff till I was in junior high. Kind of took that, became a very competitive wrestler through high school, and then I don't know how far you want me to go, but
Well, I
it,
was
you
just
know,
kind of curious. I know you, so I kind of
yeah.
know a little bit about your story. But did you try to pursue athletics in college? Did you go to college after school, or where did you? How did you get into the law
So
enforcement
so
career?
this is a good segue to that. So um, I my senior year, I'll be honest, I was a little guy, so I was like maybe a buck 50 soaking wet as a senior, Played
Hmm.
outside backer, but then my senior year I was like, I'm a little small for backer, so I bounced to free safety, and
Mm.
like, but I still had a backer mentality. Everybody's in there. I love to hit people, dude. I was like the dark horse, like just give me the hit. I don't care about the interception. That was
Yeah.
my philosophy. But different game back then. Wrestling I did really well at. I was an all-state wrestler. Um,
Nice.
I loved it, and I loved that sport because it just brings out the beast in you. There's nobody to depend on. It is just you and the other guy on the mat, and you have no team to fall back on.
Hmm.
I mean, the wins are super sweet, but man, those losses, they're bitter. And you take those home and you replay them and you beat yourself up. And it just instills a mental toughness that I don't think you can find anywhere else. Maybe MMA, jiu-jitsu, a little bit of that, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just something I loved. No, and anyway, same thing. So anyway, I didn't go anywhere after high school to play collegiate sports. I had a couple offers to walk on in baseball. I had a couple letters for wrestling.
Mm.
But what I ended up doing, I grew up always wanted to serve a mission for my church, a religious mission.
Okay.
So when I graduated, I kind of prepared for that. When I turned 19, I served a religious mission in the Philippines, uh, the southern part of Luzon. I learned to speak Tagalog. I served those people for 2 years, and it was phenomenal. The things I learned, the experiences I had, really prepared me for life. But I really just got to devote my 2 years of my life to Christ and learning more and becoming better at the scriptures and developing my testimony and my faith. And it was, and cutting the umbilical cord. I mean, being out on your own, you didn't have anybody to rely on but you and your companion out there in a third world country that you didn't know, and you learned the language because you had to.
Right.
But you grew up really fast,
That's
and
cool, man. Yeah, that's really
it
cool.
it was a really cool experience. I loved it. Still talk, just few people I still talk to from that was 25 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, a long time ago. Struggle with the language nowadays, but can still speak it a little bit. But yeah, but
Well,
that's what. Go ahead.
how in the world did you go into law enforcement from a journey like that young into the mission field for Christianity, and then you decide, oh, I'm going to become a cop? Like, how did that process happen?
I've always been drawn to like military stuff, man, and like I grew up, dude. I had a Rambo lunch pail,
Nice.
I had
Yeah,
like the
I had
Rambo
that.
M60
I
little
had that,
machine
dude.
gun, dude.
Yeah,
For sure,
yeah,
you had the little jade necklace that came with it, dude. I had the
yeah,
whole like,
yeah.
I was Rambo. I watched all the military movies. I'm a very patriotic person. I always have been.
Yeah.
I think it comes from my grandpa, my father. My grandpa was a World War II vet, hardcore cowboy from Wyoming, Lyman, Wyoming, and like take me camp. And I just kind of fell in love with the country. And I'll be honest, while I was in the Philippines, there were some hard things I experienced. That place is not like the U.S., right? So
Right.
cops are not like patrolling the neighborhood. Like I watched some pretty gnarly things happen from the New
Mm.
People's Army attacking
Oh,
people, and or like bank robberies. I've seen people shot in their vehicle. I've seen guys get cut
wow.
up with balesongs, and it's like they're just balesong is bent in a way, man. It's a knife, dude. It's a
Mm.
it's a butterfly knife. Sorry, that's
Okay.
Tagalog. So it's a butterfly knife. And I saw a lot of things that were just criminal, that I
Mm.
kind of was like, you know what, when I get back, I'm gonna make a difference. I don't want to see this stuff happen around my house. I think I can make a difference. And anyway, I kind of had that in the back of my mind. Came back home and I start the grind, and that was a whole transition, man. Coming from 2 years of serving God and doing, I mean, you're talking, you wake up, you got an hour of study, you hit the streets, you proselyte, you're praying all the time, and everything is about God. Everything is about e- expanding upon your testimony and trying your faith and being a better person, and service, and just being a good person. To come home and you get thrown back out in the world, and that is,
Mhm.
dude, that's a huge transition, man. Like,
Yeah.
really, it was difficult. I remember being super awkward. Like, another thing, like my current wife, we're high school sweethearts, so she actually waited for me while I was gone,
Wow.
and I married her. And I remember coming home and, like, I didn't speak. I dreamed in that language when I came home.
Hmm.
I dreamed in that language. I thought in that language. It was my first language. I had to
Wow.
translate back to English when I wanted to talk.
Hmm.
I remember trying to talk to her about, like, or wanted to take things, that it came out so absurdly wrong. It basically came out like, "Hey, I don't know about this. Maybe we should just pump the brakes." It's not what I meant at all. But, like,
Hmm.
she was like, "You're weird." I'm like, yeah, dude, I am weird. Like, nine
Uh,
o'clock rolls around and I'm like, dude, I gotta go home. Like, it's time for bed. I gotta be inside, because we weren't allowed to
yeah.
be out past 9 on the mission field.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it's like, and it's home to study and then go to bed and do it all over again.
Yeah.
So it's trying to break those habits. And anyway, push comes to shove, we end up dating. We work all that out. I end up getting married. I came back in May 2001. We ended up getting married in November 1st, 2001.
Okay.
Um, so that happened. I'm actually working for my dad, and I'm trying to decide what I want to do with my life. And I'm like, what am I gonna do? I gotta make myself here. Like, I'll be honest, 9/11 happened,
Yeah.
and that was right then, man. And after we got, right before we got married, and it really crushed my dad's business. It bankrupted
Mm.
him, basically, because people he was selling to couldn't pay up. It was like a vicious cycle. I kind of saw the writing on the wall, so I was like, what am I gonna do? And I kind of leaned back on that. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go be a cop. I don't know any cop that can't provide for his family. Plus,
Hmm.
I think I'd make a good cop. I'm athletic. I like to scrap. I'm gonna go catch bad guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's as simple as it comes. I was like, I think I can do good at this. And I was a little rough growing up in high school. Like, we had the rough crowd friends, and we fought a lot and did a lot of stupid things. So I kind of was like, maybe that's gonna help me. Maybe I'll be a better cop because I know these things.
Mhm.
So I did. I applied for the police academy. Actually funded myself to go through the police academy. Did it on my
Okay.
own time. After I worked a full day's job, I go to the academy a few hours a night. It took us months to get through it. Ended up getting picked up by Layton City Police Department before I graduated, and that's where my journey began as a cop. And it was an interesting one. So
Let
yeah,
me ask you this real quick, Brady, because I've had several police officers on this show, and I was a police officer for a little while,
yes,
and I just want to hear your take on it. Was the job is what you thought it was once you got into that role? Were you surprised at the amount of even this paperwork, man? Like, because I was the same way. Like, I want to go kick some ass. I miss the
dude,
military, and
100%,
then I
dude.
show up, and it's like you got to talk to a supervisor when you get a barking dog call. Like, really? Like, I
So
don't know, man.
yeah,
I was
dude,
I was shocked, dude. I was
do,
surprised when I got
do you
into it.
make it? Do you make a solid point? Because here's the thing: you grew up, you're watching cops, you're watching these guys doing all these
Yeah,
crazy
yeah,
things. You don't realize, dude, this has been edited down from,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
hours of patrol to the
yeah.
most exciting things they've seen in like three
Right,
weeks.
right.
So
Yeah,
you're thinking, like, this is gonna be my life every day,
yeah,
dude. Like,
yep.
and it's not, man. In
Mm-mm.
fact, I don't think they do a good job of actually describing what that job entails. You think you're catching bad guys. The truth is, I was not prepared for the amount of death I would see,
Oh wow.
and the horrible things. involving children,
Mhm.
and you know, uh, automobiles, vehicle accidents, homicides.
Yeah.
I mean, things that are just like, you think you're catching bad guys. The truth is, very little of your job is actually catching the bad guy because
Right.
they're usually gone. It requires an investigation. If you catch them in the act, that's great. You get to
Mhm.
do that sometimes, but they're usually like retail thefts, like things that are simple that like once in a while I caught a couple of robbery suspects, things like that. But like, you know, it's the death, dude. There's so much death that surrounds you in the city that you live in, and you don't even realize it. Like
Mhm.
any particular morning you wake up, there's probably 6 dead bodies just chilling in a bed in that city somewhere. Like I'm a small city, like in my city, just waiting to be found. And you end up down to these calls at the cop as an unattended death. And that's where you start to realize like, hey, this is different. And not to mention, it didn't prepare me for the capers, man. Working hard to really find somebody that's done something egregious, and you work hard to get these cases done up, do all the legwork, you pass on to a detective, and like, what was really frustrating to me is like you'd hook a guy. Finally, for all the hard work you did, the detective will throw like 11 felonies on him, dude, and you'll get a letter like months later, like plead down to a plea in abeyance, 1 third-degree felony. I'm out
Yep.
plea in abeyance on a flipping felony, dude. There's 12 of those on this guy, and
Yeah.
like it just makes you wonder, like, what's all this work doing, man? What am I accomplishing?
Mhm.
Um, there's some good calls. I've saved a couple lives, got a couple medals, things like that. Those are all
Nice.
good things, and they make you feel good about yourself. I mean, I'm gonna put this disclaimer out here. I'm no hero, guys. I'm a normal dude. Like I'm not. I haven't been to combat, survived these crazy missions. Like I was a SWAT guy. I've done some cool things. I've been able to see some things, but I'm not. I'm not like some crazy Navy SEAL Delta Force operator guy. I'm just a normal guy that tried to live his dream out and turned out, to be something else. Um, and that kind of segues me into some of the issues I had. Is I was like the death magnet on my shift,
Oh,
dude. I was
wow.
the what you would call a shit magnet, right? Where
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
like, dude,
Yeah.
I stepped in it all the time. I was like, dude, here we go again. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but like, I think what it was is I wasn't ready.
Okay.
Coming from the mission field,
Yeah.
being super young, 21 years old. And as soon as I turned 21, basically, I mean, I'm 21. I get picked up in the police department. I'm naive to the world. And like, that's one thing I'll say about this job is that job will strip the naive right off your body. Like you're no
Mhm.
longer naive. Like you start to realize, hey, there's evil in this world and there's nothing
Mhm.
you can do about it.
Yep.
And there are people that just want to see the world burn.
Yep.
And there's no rhyme or reason for it. They're
Yep.
just bad people. And I'm like,
Yep.
you start to realize, like, hey, this is in my own backyard. These people are out here. That's what starts to calcify you, right? You start to be calloused. You start to be leathery. You start to be like, everybody's a liar. Everybody's got something to hide. They're all dirt bags, like, like typical cop stuff. But that's
Yeah.
because that's all you see day in and day out are people at their worst. That's the truth.
How long were you in law enforcement?
So I did about 7 years,
Okay.
and I pretty much crashed out about that time, and a lot of things going down during that time. So at 18 months with the department, I made the SWAT team.
Oh, wow.
I was put on the SWAT team at
That's
18 months.
fast.
So I accelerated really quick,
Yeah, that's fast.
and this job became my identity.
Mm.
You probably can relate to some of this because
I
it's
just
hard
posted about
not
this
to.
yesterday. Yeah, I
Dude,
just
it is
posted
hard
about this.
not to because it's what you do. It's one
Yeah.
of those jobs that it almost requires it to be your identity because it's
Yeah.
you live it. Everywhere you go, you're a cop. It becomes who
Mhm.
you are, what you stand for, and it's like it shouldn't be that way. Looking back, that was probably my first mistake. No, I
It's
lived in
hard
the
it's
city I
hard to
worked
not
in.
look at it like that, though. It's hard
It
to
is.
to kinda, disassociate from that job even when you're off the clock.
Well, here's the other thing. I lived in the city I worked in, right? So that
Yeah.
was like even worse, man. Cause like I'm never off the clock. I'm driving around with my
Right.
family. I'm seeing dudes I've arrested. I'm at Walmart and there's this guy I just hooked up last week. And I'm like, oh, this didn't go bad. This could go
Yeah.
really bad.
Yeah.
So you're always at a heightened level of like over vigilance, like just super vigilant. Where I mean,
Right.
and it's just you never let your guard down, and it
Mhm.
becomes habit. And for me, I believe it made me a hard person. It changed the person my wife married with somebody she didn't know. No, now it's not all bad. Let's put it that way. It's not all bad. I learned a lot of good things. Like I became a
Mhm.
very confident individual, confident in my ability to defend myself, very outspoken in my opinion as far as what I think and what I need. Um, Able to handle stress and crisis situations. I found out that I'm really good in those situations, man. I actually kind of calm down instead of freak out. I'm kind of like, hey, chill out. Let's figure this out one step at a time. Like let's be cautious, but let's make a decision.
Mhm.
I found out cool things about myself, but what I didn't realize is little by little, all these things I was experiencing, I was bottling up,
Mm.
right? I mean, from child abuse homicides to nasty child abuse cases, child rape cases. I mean, just things that were like for example, I'll give you one. Like this is a good one actually. So I was on FTO. I was having my first kid. I just had her, and go on a call. Non-responsive infant. You know, and it's basically dead on arrival. Medics show up. They're working this. I mean, I'm talking like 2-month-old infant
Mm.
working them, and I've never seen anything like this before. What had happened is the mom, single mom, trying to breastfeed, so worn out she falls asleep and she suffocates her baby
Oh,
nursing.
man.
And she wakes up, she freaks out, and like anyway, I'm watching these medics run like a bone marrow bone tap IV on this kid, and I'm kind of like, whoa, it's my first experience to like, holy shit, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Then you go to the hospital and you have to make the death notification because the baby's not going to make it, and the mom freaks out. You watch them all break down, and all that's trauma, dude. I remember sitting in the car. My FTO was like, "Hey, Rob Dixon was his name." He's like, "Hey, dude, you good?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "No, like you just had a kid, man. Are you good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good," because I didn't want to be the guy that was like, "No, man, I'm not good. That's not
Yeah.
cool." I was just
Yeah.
kind of like, "Yeah, I'm good," and I told myself I was good because this is the job, right? It's not going to get any better. This is what it is.
Mhm.
Um, but you start telling yourself that time and time again, I'm good. I'm good. It's just business. It's just business. It's just my job. It's just business. It doesn't mean
Don't take
anything.
it personal.
Don't take it personal.
Heard that
Well, here's
all
the
the time.
thing. Every time you tell yourself that, a little piece of you gets taken away.
Yep.
It does.
Yep.
And that's the thing, because you're not dealing with it. It came
Mm-mm.
to a point after about 7 years that, dude, I'm great on the job, but you can see this stuff bleeding out into my personal life. Everything is on fire around me. The only
Mm.
place I'm good is when I'm in the chaos, when I'm at
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, I'm a freaking disaster. And I feel bad, dude. I put my wife through hell. She just should have never had to deal with the stuff I put her through. And you know, bless her heart, she stuck it out. 24 years strong. In
Yeah.
November, so we're still kicking.
Yeah.
But it did it. It all ended up accumulating and to where I was numb, man. I got to a point where I was numb to emotion, and not just that. Let me get into this since it's a Christian podcast. Christian based, it really affected my testimony, man. I never had those questions of where is God in this? Why would God let that happen? Because I'd answered those questions on my mission, but like to see it in person
Mhm.
rocks you, okay? And it made me question my faith at a
Mm.
certain point to where I was like, dude, I don't know, man. I mean, how like for example, I saved some 90-year-old guy, like doing CPR, had a heart attack, I saved his life. But I could go think of 7 or 8, young people that I was made awesome response time on. Started CPR immediately. Couldn't have had a better situation, dude. And couldn't bring them back. My brother-in-law, my wife's brother, playing high school football for Layton High, Weber State. No reason, dude. Goes out for a pass, comes back to the huddle, says, "I don't feel good. Something's not right." Boom, tips over. Cardiac arrest. Dies on
Wow.
the field, man.
No
They hit him
kidding.
a bunch with, dude, I got that call on duty. So I
Wow.
left my shift, went straight to the hospital. I get there and I can hear I've been in this situation, right, in the ER multiple times. Listen to doctors run atropine, epi, run all their stuff. I'm just like, dude, this isn't good. Like, I know what this is doing. This is not. He's been down 20 minutes,
Mhm.
you know. So I have to call my wife. Hey, come up. It's not good. Your brother's in the hospital, you know, and he doesn't make it. And like,
Mm.
dude, you're talking medics on standby with an AED. How does
Yeah.
some 90-year-old guy freaking being down for 3 minutes come back to life and live, and this kid can't pull through? It's those
Wow.
things that make you start questioning your faith. Like, where is God in all this?
Yeah.
And so,
Well,
go
Brady,
ahead.
unpack that real quick. So you question your faith. Can you kind of break that down a little further? Does that mean that you were questioning if God really existed, or where are you going with that?
So that's a good question. I guess I was questioning everything I've ever been taught about God.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Um, I, so I've through my mission, I've experienced what I would consider miracles, godly things that have happened that I can't deny. They happen right in front of me, man. And like even experiencing those things after all this trauma you experience, you start to realize, man, I don't know, man, is God really out there protecting people? Like, who's he looking out for? Who's on his good side? What does it take? Like, I mean, it's hard. A lot of people, maybe a lot of people listening to your podcast probably relate. Like, I mean, when you make a death notification, to hear the hurt in somebody, you know, you hear that so much. Um, you start to wonder, like, dude, this is people's real life, man. It's not just a job. Like, you
Hmm.
just mess somebody's freaking life up.
Yeah.
I remember I had another guy, Jay Parkin was his name, and this is how callous I got. I had to go make a death notification. We were always told, like, don't beat around the bush, be direct. You know, I was very direct. Hey, so and so passed away. Here's the information. Contact this officer. He have more information for you. I basically popped smoke and left. And he's like, hey, bro, like, you might want to learn to show a little empathy.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, hey, man, like, this is somebody to them. You know, and I was like, man, I'm a mess, dude. How did I not feel that? You know, especially
Yeah.
coming from where I came from,
Yeah.
because you calcify yourself, you get calloused, right? Um, but yeah, I think that's what it was. Is it just started to become numb, man. The
Mm.
adrenaline, this constant need to push the limit and like be somebody. I guess I was chasing something that I don't know that I was ever gonna find, man.
Yeah.
Be this hero that I don't even know how to be, man.
Yeah.
But I don't
I
know.
want to.
It made me numb. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I want to ask this real quick, because I like to get into spiritual warfare, and one of the
Yeah.
major reasons I do is because I feel like in our society, at least where I live, that is a subject that is kind of off limits for a lot of churches. The modern church, in my opinion, does not talk about the enemy like they should. So I want to backtrack a little bit. You're questioning God. You mentioned your wife's younger brother, correct, on the football field,
Hmm.
young kid, drops dead. And I'm sorry you guys had to experience that. I can't imagine being on the job as a police officer, then having to be that happens to your family. That would be I don't even want to think about that, man. I can't imagine. But where in your upbringing, your foundation through Christianity, your mission trip in the Philippines, which most of us know the Philippines is not the most safe country in the world. Where's the enemy in all this, man? Like what are your thoughts on the darkness, and is that playing a role with maybe you questioning your faith at this point in your life? Can you get into that some?
Well, yeah, I think so. It's complicated, but I think as a cop, as a law, you're doing good, okay.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like I guess you can use the analogy: birds of a feather flock together. When you associate with something so long, you're exposed to something so long, it's hard to not take a piece of that with you. Is what I think. Where it's like
Mhm.
little by little, I think that's how the adversary works, man. That's what I was always taught growing up. Like, hey, he's gonna make you question something. He's going to put something in front of you. He's going to make you question it. Once you start questioning things, that's when he's going to come in full force. That's his whole deal is like, hey, question it. Shake that foundation. Is this real? You really feel that way? What about this? How do you feel about it now? I think it is. Somebody's got to do the job. How do you combat that? That's the other thing. I think I got so cared about being a cop, I probably fell away a little spiritually from going to church, attending the services I should, reading my scriptures, praying. Um, just little by little, it eroded, I think. And that's where the adversary is in this. I think it eroded on my ability to stay good with my prayers, to read my scriptures, to be a man of faith, to where at some point I started to question it and it just kind of grew and grew. I don't think I ever was like, this isn't true, but I started to be like, hey man, like what's real and what's not?
Mm.
Like, is it fate? Do people dying because it's their time to go? Because some of the things you see, and you probably know this yourself, is there's ain't no way this was fate. This was like that guy's life was taken. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
short.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
um, so it's hard to make those ends meet. But I mean, I don't know. I think the adversary plays a huge role in that. But here's the thing: who's out there making these people do these things that you have to respond to?
Mhm.
It's not God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think there's an evil out there pushing people to be evil. And unfortunately, you have to go deal with it. And if you're not solid on where you stand, you're susceptible to being injured spiritually.
Mhm.
That's my take on that.
I agree.
And
I agree. Yep, I agree. You gotta put on the armor of God every single day.
100%, man.
Deflect those arrows, man, every single day.
Dude, and it's not easy, dude. Every day is a
No,
battle
it's
with
not.
that,
It
man.
is every day, man, every
And
day.
you're never going to be good every day, dude. There's going to be days that you suck at it, dude. Like, dude, there's days I'm like, bro, I did not exemplify the person I should be today at all.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
but, I try. And that's the thing. But what's cool about all this and this whole story is all that trauma, it did come to a head. It led to a lot of marriage problems. I kind of come to a, dude, like this point, like, dude, we were talking divorce. I mean, papers drawn up, ugly. My wife didn't like the person she was married to anymore. We couldn't talk. I was closed off. I thought I was protecting her by not filling her in with what I'm going through.
Mhm.
But at the same time, there's no way she could understand it. It's just this whole dilemma that everybody goes through. But it ended up causing a serious divide in our relationship until it all came crashing down, man. And I had to choose, dude, do I want my family or do I want my police career?
Mhm.
And that's really the decision that I boiled it all down to. And I chose my family, and I left law enforcement to do some military contracting. Probably not the best idea. Nothing sexy. Nothing like you thinking. It was like through Raytheon. Like it was just DoD contracting. Like anyway, but it required me to travel a lot.
Yeah.
But it got me out of policing. Even that, dude. That transition. And here's the injury, dude. Here's where my mental health struggle started. When I left that job, I left my identity behind.
Mhm.
I walked away, and it crushed me, man. Like I put so much effort into being good at what I was doing and being the best. And for what? All this wasted time. And like, not to mention the loss of tribe, man. I think that's a huge thing because when you're out, you probably can relate to this too. When you're out, dude. Like,
Yeah.
guys don't reach out. You're on the outside, dude. You're not on the know. Like,
Nope.
you don't have a need to know.
Yeah.
And they
I
treat you different.
They do, and I'm glad you're mentioning this. I was gonna ask you how you were treated once you left that profession because I have my own experience with it, and I was just curious about yours. I'm glad you're bringing that up.
I have a couple guys that reached out here and there. I've talked to a few people, but like very here and there, man. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I even told you. Like I went back and I was talking. He's now the SWAT commander. I went through hell week with this guy. I was BSing with them. I was like, dude, you got to give me one of them SWAT hats. I got a lit Metro hat. But you got to give me one of those. Dude, you're not on this team. And I'm like, it was like an
Oh,
arrow to my heart, bro. I was
wow.
like, I know I'm not on the team right now, man, but I bled with you, bro. I went through hell
Yeah.
week. I've been on ops with you. I sweat. I bled. I worked through this with you.
Damn.
And like, dude, it hurt. But I get it, dude. I'm not on the team, dude. I'm not a SWAT guy anymore, dude.
Yeah.
But it was just like, dude, I just wanted to put it in a shadow box. I'm not gonna wear it around now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be something I'm not. I just
Well, and I
thought we
want
were
to,
boys.
Brady, I want to make this comparison real quick. I just thought of this. Like,
Sorry, my dog just popped in.
no, that's all right. That's all right. That's awesome. The big old girl. Like I know, like in the veteran community, for the most part, when you meet a fellow veteran, it's usually a pretty like, oh, cool, man. What branch were you in? And there might be a little bit of kind of, hazing if you were like, I was a Navy guy, so you get made fun of all the time versus a Marine Corps guy. But you most of the time, man, it's like it's a cool thing. Like, oh man, cool, you're a veteran. But I've noticed with law enforcement, it's totally different. There's not really that bond from my experience with former police officers as there is with the veteran community. And I know for me, when I left law enforcement under less than favorable circumstances. I went out on my own power, but I'm not going to get into it. But it was not
Me
a
too,
it's
bud.
not a good situation. So
Me too, dude. Let's
very
be honest.
very public situation. But I had a similar experience. I had a really tight friendship with a guy. We went through everything together: academy, state academy. I mean, we rode same shifts. We got into the narcotic stuff together. As soon as that badge came off, dude, like we were like almost strangers, man. And it hurt, dude. Like it hurt because I was the guy that was trying to be probably relatable to your story. I was trying to be the best all the time. I was taking care of the
Yeah.
weaker guys and making sure they had something to eat at night during the academy, like hiding snacks and shit like that. And when I left that job, man, there's still some guys to this day that I'm still
Yeah.
still talk to every once in a while. But it was fucked up, man. Like I was like, dude, it's been ingrained in me to be this guy for all these years, and all of a sudden that guy is gone. And it was just it sucked, man. You talk about losing you're living for a title or a sense of identity. Like I was
100%.
completely lost, dude. Like I was completely lost after that.
Oh, dude, 100%. And that's like, dude, I, and I don't talk about where I ended up with really even my wife. When I was going through everything, the lows I reached, man. I mean,
Yeah,
I know I've talked with you about it some, like, you know, let's put it this way. The reason I'm here probably is because of the experience that I've had seeing what suicide does to families. I didn't want to do that to my kids, but like
yeah,
to say it didn't go through my head and like anyway, not to get on that dark side, but dude, it was like low, bro. Like I don't know what to do. I don't know
yeah,
if it's worth living. I don't like I might have messed my whole entire life up, dude. Like did you really felt hopelessness is what it was.
yeah.
Like I had a lot of repair to do in my marriage. A lot. I mean, a steep hill to climb, bro.
Hmm.
It was daunting. And like,
Yeah,
but I just decided I'm gonna put one foot in front of the other, and I'm not gonna let this keep me down. And I'm gonna, dude, there's still, I still struggle. I mean, ups and downs, PTSD stuff, like things. I mean, and here's the thing: I don't know if you've experienced. It, I don't know how long you were doing it, but dude, the things I did, it didn't bother me when I was in. It's fine. But the
yeah,
longer I'm away, the more I look back and I'm like, dude, this I didn't handle that right, man. I get
yeah,
more emotional where it's like I have emotions now, and I didn't used to have those, Where it's
yeah.
like, my gosh, like
I, I
yeah,
I think it's because you're staying when you're in the job, you're so busy and you're handling so many calls and you just learn to kind of compartmentalize it. But when you're out of the
yes,
profession, the big ones come back around. Like your brain almost opens up that chapter and then you start to process it more. That's my take on it. I did
yeah,
some therapy, over the years, and there were a couple calls I had that at the time didn't think as much about it. It was more anger in me. Like I lost a patient in a house fire. And to this
yeah,
day, I don't like our local fire department because I've lost two patients due to their negligence.
sure.
And that's judgmental. That's harsh on my part. But you know what? Cops don't like firefighters usually, anyways. But so when it happened, like I was pissed off because I lost this woman, and it was weird, man. Like down the road, several years later, I would just have like these dreams or these flashes of, because I remember the smell, the body,
Oh, dude,
the sense of
smells,
helplessness.
bro.
Yeah, and it's just like in the moment, like it was, I worked nights, so I was going back and running other calls, and I remember going back to the station, and a close friend of mine was like, "Hey, are you okay? You probably need to go talk to somebody." I'm like, "Dude, I'm good. Like, whatever, it's all good." And but I
Shoulder
wasn't,
this.
but I was just
Yeah,
lying. And so yeah, I think as we get out of that job, man, like our brain just kind of starts to go through, and as we grow as men and evolve and take care of ourselves, you're gonna have to face all this shit, and it comes
absolutely.
out.
Absolutely.
So
Well, dude, I think you hit the nail on the head. So, like, for example, I had a job interview for a superintendent position, and they're like, "They give us a good cop story, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll pick one.
oh
I'll
well.
probably be all
Yeah.
right, bro." And I got about halfway through, and I got super emotional, bro.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I
yeah,
couldn't finish. I was like,
yeah,
I had to look at him and say, "Dude, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not ready.
yeah,
I shouldn't even started. Like,
yeah,
it was a bad one. I probably shouldn't have picked it." I mean, we can go into stories. I mean, you said mention smells. I mean, to this day, I'll smell certain things. I was like, oh, dude, man, that's like immediate flashback. I mean, I don't want to get gory on this podcast, but I mean, there's smells you smell as a cop that no one
yeah,
else is going to have to smell from. I mean, when you walk through the door, there's been a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. You smell that when you walk out of the house, and you're
yeah,
never going to forget it because
yeah,
it's a smell where you're like, dude, somebody's down. And people,
yeah,
how do you know? Because I smell it. And it's like,
yeah,
that sounds disgusting, but those are the experiences you're leaving with. And here's my point on all this. This is why I don't want to really jump ahead too far. But this is one of the reasons I started this foundation. I'm really passionate about law enforcement because military, yes, dude, you experience a ton of horrible stuff overseas, man, and like in combat, losing friends, and it's awful, dude. And like, I get it. It's almost different for a cop because what do, man? You go home, you come back to work, you do it all over again, right in your backyard. And you start to realize, dude, there's these evil people doing these evil, awful things right where you're living, where your kids are
mhm,
growing up, and it takes the naivety away from your eye, the veil, if you will. Like, hey, dude, like everybody's bad, dude. Like that's
yeah,
why cops are standoffish because they don't know you.
mhm, yeah,
They don't know who you are. They don't know what your intent is, right? It's not because they're dicks. It's because, dude, like they've probably been attacked a time or two by people they didn't expect it was going to happen
mhm,
from. And
yeah,
it's like now they're super guarded where it's like, hey, man, I don't know you. Back up. Arm's length. Hey, I don't know you. Hands out of your pocket. You see where I can see because
yeah.
you want to go home, man. At the end
You're
of the day, you're like, dude, I just want to get back to my family, man. I'm not
you're
trying to be a jerk, but like, I
you're
don't know
constantly
you.
in that interview stance. You got your
Dude,
hands
yeah.
here when you're talking. I still do that to this day, even in my
Yeah.
job now. If somebody comes in that's not a client, I'll stand that like I'll catch
Yeah.
myself doing
Well,
it.
here's the thing. That's hypervigilance, right?
It
So
is. No, it
we're
is. Yeah.
it is, and we're
Yeah.
hypervigilant. And here's the thing. I'm looking at, dude, I'm running scenarios in my head talking to people that I don't know. Like, hey man, what if he does this? I'm gonna do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kick him in the freaking knee.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
take him down. I'm gonna go for my gun here. Like,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
it's crazy, but it's exhausting. And you
Yeah. It
can't get
is.
out of it
It is.
because that's the state you have to stay in. But I would venture to say a 20-year career for a law enforcement officer is like it is destructive, man. Nobody's
Oh
gonna do
yeah.
this job and come out okay. I don't
No.
care. And here's the dirty little secret though. You go to your sergeant, you say, hey man, I'm messed up. I'm not doing good mentally. What's the first thing they're gonna do? They're gonna pull you off the line, fit
Yep.
for duty assessment, and a good chance you're losing your badge if you can't right the ship.
Yep.
So if you're gonna go be totally honest about how you are mentally in this job, there's a good chance you can't do the job, your passion, your love, the thing you want to do anymore because they're not going to let you because now you're a liability on the road.
Hmm.
So that's kind of why I started this because I've lost multiple friends to suicide,
Okay.
addiction, suicide, and things where it's needless, man. Like
Yeah.
we can fix it. I'm from vets. I got a good buddy who was a vet Marine, man, and he was an addict forever and he got clean and then like it was like one drink, bro. And it just boom, just crash course to where we actually got in a little tiff, man, because I kind of was feeling like I was like allowing him to be a certain way because he's kind of being bag of shit at work, dude. And I was like, hey, bro, like, you got to freaking man out, shoulder this, like, be a man. You know, we got into a big argument that day. He finally talked me off the ledge. He's like, hey, man, I'm good, dude. My phone's just dead. I didn't mean to not answer. My phone's dead. I'm just going through some things, going through divorce. Talk me off the ledge. I'll call you in an hour. I'm like, all right, dude, you better call, man. I better hear from you. 3 hours later, I got a phone call from his wife that he was dead.
Oh
And dude, that
man.
broke me, man. Like,
Oh, damn, man.
like
I'm sorry, man.
sobbing, like, so
Yeah, I'm sorry.
anyway, that's
Damn,
not to get him emotional stuff, but dude, that he's my best friend, man. Like,
man.
I didn't see this. I saw the signs, dude. I did. There, all the red flags were there, man. I just figured, dude, he's tough. He's gonna pull through. He's gonna make it.
Yeah,
And like, he'll call on me before he does something. He didn't.
yeah.
So like, there's things like that sting. And anyway, that's kind of why I got this thing started. And overall, there were 7 years of Layton. I did another few, a total of about 10 in law. I did some federal stuff with security forces for a while as a
Okay.
civilian. Um, I don't count that because it's a totally different world, man. Like, it's not, it wasn't the same. Like, it was
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
it was like being I don't know, it was just different. Anyway,
Well,
but no, go ahead.
let's look at. I want to ask you this. What out of everything that you've experienced, what's the one that jumps out at you the most that kind of defined your journey to where you are right now?
Oh man,
Is there
you're
one that
talking
kind of
like traumatic
well, no,
stuff,
no, not like a not
or
like
like
a
what?
traumatic call, but like what was the moment where you decided, okay, I know you said earlier you chose your family over the job, which is
That's it,
very
right there.
okay, okay.
So let me talk you through that.
Yeah.
So that is when everything changed, man. And I had to, as bad as the situation was, I can look back on it and it may have even been a blessing in disguise, right? Because what I had to do is level everything. Boom, bulldoze my whole life. Be like, dude, is this worth pursuing?
Mhm.
What is the underlying problem here? I'm it. Okay, I'm the problem. How do I fix it? What am I missing? So, I had to go through. I know I went through the repentance process. I did everything I could to get back. I mean, in good. I mean, just for the person I've been, man, and like to gain my testimony back. Because I mean, dude, my wife stuck it out with me. We had two more beautiful kids, and like, dude, it led to me pursuing my bachelor's, then my master's degree, getting a really good job, providing for my family in a way I never could have done as a cop. To starting my own business, UN Precision Tactical, um, to working where I work now at an oil refinery of all places, man. Like, that's the thing. Like, I never envisioned myself there, but it got me off the contract circuit, man. It brought me home.
Yeah.
But it's a good job, and I get to be more present for my kids. And like, I mean, all this stuff has come from that decision I made at that point to say, hey, no, my family's worth it. I'm going to do all the work I need to do to make this work.
How did you develop that self-awareness though to know, hey, I need to get out of this profession because my family is more important? Like, how did you develop that? Where did that come from?
Rock bottom, man. I
Okay.
mean, it was, it was the entire time. I'm not going to act like my family wasn't important. They were always the most important. They're always the objective, right? But
Mhm.
like, what I was doing, what I thought I was doing by pursuing all these hours and these career SWAT, and being honor guard and being a DRE and bettering myself in the police department, I thought I was doing that to better my family. That was selfish, man. Let's be honest. That was selfish. It was selfish. I was doing it to better me. I
Yeah.
thought maybe it bettered my position to provide for them. But like, when it all came down, man, like, and I was about to lose my family, I just had to take a hard look in the mirror and say, dude, what what role do I play in this? Let's be
Mhm.
honest with ourselves. Like, where I'm at in all this. And dude, let's be honest. I am the cause of almost all of it. It's
Mhm.
the truth. I was, man. I
Yeah.
I didn't realize the trauma I was creating for my wife, and that me being disassociated, and me not being there for my kids because I'm so wrapped up in this job that I am. Dude, I'm working double shifts. I'm jumping every call I can get. I'm working DUI shifts. I'm working just working nonstop, and all that for this piece real at the time, a check to check paycheck, dude. Like
Yeah.
nothing extra in the bank. I
Right.
mean, it didn't pay. It was more of a pride, whereas like, hey, I'm proud of the job I do. I think I'm making a difference,
Yeah.
but it wasn't worth the money.
Right. This isn't going to be a popular statement, but I'm going to say it anyways. I think that whole profession, it's a selfish choice to become a police officer. You can say you want to do it to serve and protect but ultimately, I'm an 80s kid too. We grew up with the movies. We saw the action. I think there's something inside of us that wants more out of life. And unfortunately, our families, even our friends that aren't in the job can become collateral damage because we don't want anything to get in our way. And I'm not judging you, man, but I know from
Oh
my
no. Well,
experience it's a
dude,
pride
yeah.
thing because you wanna be the biggest, the baddest. You want all the ribbons, you want all the schools because at the end of the day, it's I'm the guy. I'm here to do this, and I think the wives, the spouses in this whole thing, they probably
They
don't know what
suffer.
they don't know
No.
what they're getting into. I mean, because we
Well,
do change. We do
yeah, dude,
change.
let's unpack that for a second because I think you're
Yeah.
dead right. Whether I call it, well, as far as being selfish or not, I think it is ultimately, but the reason we're drawn to the profession, let's get to the root cause of that. Why are we drawn to this profession? Dude, action, right? Like
Yeah.
we want to be, we're protectors, okay? We're not
Yeah.
afraid of stepping up, scrapping with somebody. I want to do good. You do, and
Mhm.
you do get into it because I want to do good. I want to catch the bad dudes. I think I can do that. I think I can stand toe to toe. I think I'm brave enough to run towards the gunfire and not run
Yeah.
away from it. We do it with good intent. And I think guys can do the job and not be selfish. I've seen it. But I'll be honest, those guys probably I scoffed at when I was a cop. Like, look at you. It's all about you personal life. It's all about your, this and this. You're not invested.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, man. Looking back, that's a total wrong way to look at it. Like, dude, what's important is outside of that career field. You're doing this as an ends don't mean. It pays your bills. If you can help a few
Mhm.
people along the way, cool. At the end of
Yeah.
the day, when you go home to your family, that's what flipping matters. And most
Yeah.
people can't wrap their head around that.
Yeah.
And you're sacrificing so much of your time away from that to be what? Be somebody nobody's going to remember when you're gone. So that's the truth. That's the hard
Mhm.
statement. No one's
Yeah.
going to look back. The greatest cop we ever had was so and so. Dude, when
Yeah.
you retire, yeah, you might get a plaque, your name on the wall, but dude, you're replaced by another body
Mhm.
who's going to be the next big deal.
Yeah.
And like, that's it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And then that sounds horrible. And I hate to bottle it up like that, but that's the
It's true
truth. All
though.
right.
It's true.
Well, yeah.
And I know
So
I know for
anyway,
me, I was so warped in the head, like, when I got into law enforcement, we had our own in-house police academy through the department, and then we had to go to the state academy, and I remember they wanted us to this is back before smartphones, but they wanted us to have a picture of our wife, our girlfriend, or whoever on us at all times, so in a scenario, we were running scenarios if we got killed, you'd have to look at the picture of your wife. And I remember always just going, this is so stupid. Like, if I get killed, I get killed. Like, I'm here to kick ass. Like, I don't give a shit. But I was so selfish and so prideful that I had almost had like a death wish, man. Like
well,
I did not take into consideration how it would impact my family. And that was before I had my daughter, but I was just too arrogant,
well,
man. I didn't care.
and let's be honest though, you can't afford to be.
No, you cannot. You
And that's my
cannot.
thing. So let's not get it mixed. Let's not get it twisted. Like for example, if I'm making an entry on a SWAT team and I'm worried that I'm going to get shot, I'm
Mhm.
now a liability to the dude in front of me and the dude in back of me
Yeah,
because
you're
I'm going to
right.
be, I'm going to be hesitant, right?
Yep.
You almost do have to throw caution to the wind while the banner and say, dude, come what may, I'm getting this job done.
Yeah.
And it is a selfish look, but it's needed because you can't do it any other way.
Right.
You just can't, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, That's awesome. I beat the dead horse on all of that, and I think there's so much you could do a whole other podcast unpacking from administration to where they could play a better role and do better things for you. But I mean, I think we're probably running short on time. But
Well, I want to
it's
ask you
just
this. I want to ask you this real quick. So when you had that self-awareness to leave law enforcement, you put your family first. Where was God in this? Did you make the decision like, hey, you mentioned repentance earlier. And I want you to kind of clarify that for our listeners if maybe they don't understand what repentance means. Can you kind of explain that? And then also, um, kind of like we'll summarize it, but kind of go through like how God played a role in Brady becoming the man to put his family over the job.
so. I guess it come toe to toe with losing your family, right?
Yeah.
My previous background being a missionary, dude, I know damn good and well the man I'm supposed to be, the things I should be
Mm-hmm.
doing. I've lived it, I've done it. I'm not doing it now.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just me, the refiner's fire, man, looking at it saying, hey, what am I doing wrong in my life that it's a mess, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can blame it on the trauma. I can blame it on the crisis and the PTSD. It's a cop out from me, man. Does it play a role? Yeah. But dude, I made those choices, dude. I did that.
Yeah.
Okay. So it made me look at it, say, no, I need to change in direction. And I know I'm not being the man I'm supposed to be. I'm not being a God fearing man like I know I should be. I'm not doing these things I used to do. My life was much better when I had that.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, and that here's the thing, that's a scary journey, bro, because where do you start? I mean, dude, the truth is you just start. Dude, you hit your freaking knees and you say,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I've
Yeah.
freaking failed. I am not living up to your expectation of me. And I'm probably not going to tomorrow, but like I need your help to do it. Because dude, it's gonna need you strong. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to make it like I'm this pastor or like, dude, I'm not the most religious guy in the world. I struggle with things, but I let God guide me. I mean, even this foundation, how it started, this has all started because I honestly believe God put me through the things I went through in my life to give me the wisdom to change the perspective, my perspective to help people. And all this stuff happened to start this foundation. It was laid at my feet. All I had to do was gather it up and say, okay, we're going to do it.
Hmm.
And it just took me to collect it and say, no, I'm a, I'm a, I'm a push out and we're going to do this.
Yeah.
And dude, it's all fallen into place. And I think I look back on all of it now and I think maybe the reason I went through all these hard times and these struggles had a purpose. You know, it took
Yeah.
20, 15 years down the road, but here's my purpose. Okay. Maybe this is why. Maybe this is why I struggle mentally. Maybe this is why I've lost my friends. Maybe this is why I experienced all these traumatic things on the job so that I can help somebody in Christ to say, man, I truly understand.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there and I've made it out. I'm not all the way out, dude. And we're never all the way out, dude. Like we have ups and downs. I still do, man. I'll be chugging along, just happy go lucky, and there's days I don't even want to look at myself in the mirror. That's the truth. I just crash.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I still deal with it. But dude, I found releases. Dude, the gym. We've talked a lot about the gym,
Mm-hmm.
man. Gym is huge for my mental health, man. It keeps
Yeah.
me strong up here. It helps me stay focused. Being involved with my family. Um, Attending church, doing the things I should, praying with my family. Dude, it's
Mm-hmm.
huge for me, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid. I guess there was a time in my life when I was a cop, maybe I was a little, I don't know if I'd say embarrassed of being like a super spiritual person because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you get mocked for that. I'm
Oh
not
yeah.
anymore, man. I'm not
Yeah.
anymore, dude. It is what it is. That's who I am. That's
Right.
that's the that's the core of who I am, and that's not. I'm not afraid to tell you, dude, I don't drink alcohol, man. And it's not all because of my religion. It's a lot of it's because of I've seen what it does to people. I don't want
Yeah.
it in my life. It's poison, dude.
Yeah, it
It is
is. It is.
poison, especially physically. I want to be in shape. Why am I going to drink, dude? You know,
Yeah.
I can't protect myself if I'm in an altered state of mind. Stuff like
Mhm.
that, where it's like, I'm not afraid to be the man I am today. I'm not afraid to tell people, hey, I am religious. And,
Yeah.
no, I don't expect you to see things the way I do. I respect you for viewing things the way you do, but I expect you to
Mhm.
respect my viewpoint as
Right.
you know.
Well, Brady, I wanna say this to you, man. I admire your courage and your strength to have that moment within yourself to say, "My family needs to come before my job." And I want everyone listening right now to hear this. It takes more strength to ask for help and to prioritize others in your life than to stay silent and grind it out. So if you're out there and you feel like you're weak or something's wrong with you because you don't feel right mentally, you don't feel like you really have your purpose, it's okay to reach out and ask for help. It takes way more
Absolutely.
strength to do that than to just be, oh, I'm good. I'm good. I can do this on my own.
100% do not be afraid to reach out. One of the main things we're doing in this foundation right now is social events, man. That's all we're
Yeah.
doing. Once a month we do a social event. All I'm trying to do is get guys and men and women to come out, vets, law enforcement, firefighters, first responders, dude, come out and socialize. Why socialize? What are we doing there? We're networking, man. You're
Mhm.
starting to realize that, dude, you're not the only person that has problems. You're not the
Right.
only person going through these things, man. You're creating lifelines to people like, hey, man, I know you've been through a thing or two, man. Can I talk to you about something I'm struggling with?
Mhm.
Because let's be real, one of the hard things for guys like me and you is walking up to somebody on the street that you don't know has ever experienced any of this and telling them like struggling with this, they're not going to understand it.
Mhm.
Gotta have somebody that's been there a little bit and been like, hey man, I get it, man. I was there last month, dude. Like I still get there, but like here's the
Mhm.
things I do. Just talk with me, man. Like I
Yeah.
get it. I'm on your side. Hence the credo of our foundation: no battle fought alone. That's the whole point, dude. You're never alone. Just gotta
Yeah.
be humble enough to pick up the phone and be, hey man, I'm not doing so hot. I'm struggling. Whether it's spiritually or mentally.
Yeah.
We can handle both.
Well, tell us more about your foundation while you're on that subject.
Yeah, so the foundation, dude, like I said, we started because of all these things I've experienced. But what we're trying to do here is I saw a need. I see a lot of foundations out there, and I'm not saying all of them. A lot there's a lot of people trying to make money off of nonprofits, man. I guess after my experiences losing my friend and stuff, I think there's a need. Okay. And I
Mhm.
feel like I don't know that I'm qualified to help, but I feel like I can jump in and help. So we started this foundation, we got a board of really awesome vets and first responders. And dude, we're starting this up and we're brand new. We started in June. So like we're brand new. And then we're kicking out, we're pushing out, we're working on building a training facility out just north of us here where I mean it's all sorts of cool programs. We got equine therapy, we've got other other nonprofit irreverent warriors, warrior revival, behind the lava we're working with, and we're just collaborating with these people because dude, we can all do a part to help. And there's so many good people out there that want to get involved and don't know how. That I just want to put people in the right places. Even if we're not the right foundation, we don't offer the right programs for you, we'll get you in touch with who you need to be in touch with. We will help you no matter what it is. But there's a lot we have that we got to gain more funding. I don't want to
Mhm.
beat that drum a whole bunch, but like we're pretty new, so we don't have a lot of funding right now. So we're doing the things we can with the money we have. We have plans. We have some really cool things in the works to get us more funding. And as we do that, we'll push out something we talked about, spousal support. That's another big thing we want to get involved in is, hey, if you've got a spouse that is in law enforcement or is a combat vet or a veteran of any sort, and they want to open up to you, how do you handle that? Because nobody talks to these spouses on how to do that,
Mm-mm.
the do's and the don'ts. And dude, it's a touchy subject. You gotta be careful. Like you're never gonna want to weaponize it. probably the biggest thing you can do is make sure that they know you're not going anywhere. That, hey man,
Hmm.
tell me what you want. We'll get through it together. I'm not popping smoke. Like,
Yeah.
we're in this together. We'll fight the fight. But I mean, there's so much. I mean, from we got a ton of stuff. We got a website. You can check it out, read all about it. It's just battleforgefoundation.org. We're all over social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Follow us and check it out, man. We're just good people that want to make a difference, man. And that's all. I mean, we've got a ton of stuff. It's going to grow. We've got a good business plan to grow this to help as many people as possible. Right now, we're small because we're doing all we can with the money we have. I will tell you this: nobody makes a dime at my foundation. Every penny donated goes right to the cause. I don't pull a salary. I don't pocket any of this. It is a ton of work, and there is zero ROI besides feel good. Okay,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's it.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. As we're kind of wrapping up here, man, is there a principle or a scripture that has kind of carried you throughout your life that you'd like to share with everyone listening?
Oh man, I always tell
Putting you
my
on the putting
daughter.
you on the spot. Okay.
I always tell my daughter, I'm a man of principles and values. And there are
Okay.
so many principles that have carried me through my life. But I mean, one of the biggest thing, like one of something that was always told to me growing up is the strongest steel is made, was it in the not the refiner's fire, the forge of adversity or something like that.
Mm,
But it's basically through adversity we become stronger. And
yeah.
I've lived and learned that hey, adversity is not a bad thing, man. Welcome it with open arms. Because
Hmm.
here's the thing: you're gonna learn, you're gonna grow. And it is hard when you're going through it, but unless you're challenging yourself and pushing yourself, you're not growing.
Yeah.
So I've really tried to push myself in that direction. One of the big scriptures that stuck out to me, something we're going to put on some of our merch, is Proverbs 17:17. I don't know if you've ever read
Nice.
that. A
Yep.
friend loveth at all times, but a brother is made for adversity.
Yes.
I
Great
love that
scripture.
scripture.
Great
And I
scripture.
think that speaks to, like, hey, there's friends out there and there's people we call brothers or sisters.
Hmm.
And when I call you a brother, I expect you to go through the stuff with me, man. Like, I will
Yeah.
go to war for you.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, I will carry the weight, put it on my
Well,
back.
speaking of that scripture, here's some brotherly love, brotherly advice I'm going to give you. You said earlier that maybe you're not qualified. That's garbage. You're qualified. You're doing good things, man. Seriously.
I meant from a business perspective, man.
It
I don't
doesn't
know.
matter, dude. Doesn't matter, man. It
Well,
doesn't
here's the
matter.
thing.
You got it going. You got it going,
Well,
right?
well,
So,
here's the thing. That's where faith comes in, man. I
yeah,
agree. Like, I don't think, I honestly kind of feel like I've been called to do this, and I think that God's going to clear the path for me, and He's going to make me into what He wants to make me.
yeah.
I'm just taking a leap of faith and doing it. I'm gonna be led where it leads me. So
That's that's
I'm in
amazing,
it.
man.
I'm in it
That's
for the good
amazing.
stuff.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, if there's a man listening right now, Brady, that's on the edge of giving up, what would you say to that man?
Don't give up. You can do it a little bit longer, man. I learned something in Hell Week when I was going through Hell Week when things got tough. This old gravelly guy from Ogden City, I think his name was Tony Fox, like, dude, you can do anything for 30 seconds. Break it down to small time frames. I can do anything for 10 seconds. When 10 seconds gets hard, say I can do anything for 5 and just go another 5.
Hmm.
Stop looking at, dude, it's always going to get better. It will always get better. I promise you.
Hmm.
What you're going through is temporary. Okay. There's always things we can do to put a better foot forward and improve. Nothing's worth making a permanent decision that can't be undone. Okay. The people you'll hurt, the heart you'll break, and the hole you'll leave will never be filled. You need to understand that. And trust me when I tell you, I know that because I've had to make those notifications. And the heartbreak that's associated with it is I have nightmares about. Okay. So don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reach out, call me, man. Call our foundation. My number's right on the website. I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
I'll listen. I can listen, man. It's all it takes sometimes.
Yeah.
Need some help, we'll get it for you.
yeah, definitely. definitely. And this podcast is to help. It's to reach people that need it, to spread awareness. And if you feel alone out there, you feel like no one is there for you, Brady and I are here, man. Like
Hundred percent.
this is our mission to help and not, not we don't want you to feel like that there's no one out there because we're here. We're here to help. That's why we're doing this stuff.
Well, tell you what, I need to get you out here to
Yeah.
talk to our people, man. I'm serious,
I may have to take a class on public speaking, but I'll come
dude. It's
out.
gonna be great, man. Hey,
Yeah.
you got a great story yourself, man, and
Yeah.
like you're doing good things. You're doing God's work. Keep it up. I love it.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. I really do. Yeah, it's I feel like, you're kind of saying that you feel like God's leading you with your foundation, and I feel like God's leading me to do this. And
Absolutely.
I've been in the fitness industry for over 20 years and owned a business in it, and I love it, but I feel like this is different, man. This is like I feel like I really have a purpose in life now. And that's a new territory for me because the podcast started in July, really. So I'm still kind of new. And but it just feels like I can actually help people this way. I can actually follow Christ and spread the gospel and not be on a street corner just yelling at folks, but trying to preach because I'm not a preacher, but I can relate to other guys and share my testimony with folks and tell them like, hey, dude, I have a horrible past. I mean, I've done some gnarly stuff, but I know now at 46 years old that Christ loves me, that he died for me, and I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to do everything the right way. And dude, I pray all the time. I ask for forgiveness all the time because I am not Mr. Happy Go Lucky and people irritate me on a regular basis. So I have to pray,
Hey, dude.
in certain scenarios,
Speaking to the
but
choir. Hey, here's the thing. We're not made to be perfect, man. And
no,
God
no, we're
knows
not.
that.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
reason Jesus atoned for our sins is because we're incapable of perfection. Okay.
Yep.
We are not perfect beings. We are going to fail. He knows that.
Hmm.
And dude, he probably bled and felt more pain than he should have because of me, the things that I've done. And that's the truth. But, you know, he did it for a reason because we're going
Hmm.
to constantly be able, we always need to be able to come back. We're never going to be perfect, man. We can
Yeah.
try each day, set out to be the best we can, but we're going to fall short.
Yeah.
Understand that, dude. We're,
Hmm.
we're natural men. Even though it does say the natural man is an enemy to God. Hey, it's the truth because by being an imperfect man, like we're never going to be perfect,
Yeah.
but all I can do is try.
Yep.
Just try, man.
Yep. Yep.
One foot from the other.
Yep.
But I
Well,
bet
I
you're
want to.
learning a ton by interviewing people.
Oh yeah, big time, man. I am, and it's fascinating to kind of hear different perspectives, and I'm bringing more women on the show now and kind of
Yeah,
hearing their side. And if you're listening right now, this isn't the goal is to spread awareness for men's mental health, just because it's still kind of a taboo subject. But this platform is not limited to males only. I had a female combat veteran on a couple weeks ago, and she shared her testimony, her experiences, which are way different than say someone else's experiences. And so ultimately, man, it's to help people. And I feel like for me, you mentioned this with your foundation. I don't make a dime off of this. I'm doing this as a way to give back. And I enjoy it. And I really feel like that it's making a difference. And I really feel like that I have purpose now by doing this. And I don't have a background in radio and TV or interviewing or any of that. I mean, dude, I have an exercise science degree. So I mean, that's the furthest thing away from doing an interview with somebody. But it just feels like I'm making a difference. And we live in a world that is going to reject men healing, men growing, men being the provider, the protector, but also that can be kind, loving, and gentle, but also be dangerous when needed. That the world hates
that's it
that
right
guy.
there.
And that's what we
That's it
need.
right
We
there.
need more men. And that's what a Christian man is, in my opinion.
100%, dude. You need to be able to, be the man that's gonna coddle a baby but break a neck if you need to. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
You just got to have that switch where it's like, hey, when violence is called for, I'm your
Yep.
guy. but I'm not just gonna throw that switch for no reason. Okay.
Right.
And, but dude, here's the other thing. What I love about what you're doing is you are bringing people on and you're showing everybody out there that, hey, you're not the only one going through some stuff, man. People have been
Yeah.
there and done that, come out the other side and survived it. Dude, you can do this. Like,
Hmm.
there's got to be some work involved, okay? And it's not gonna be easy all the time, but
Yeah.
it's survivable, man, and things will get better. I promise.
Hmm. Yeah, they will. They will. I will say this. I've said this before. I don't think you can have a clear picture with mental health until you put Christ in your life, because you're always going to be searching for peace. Christ is peace, man. And he loves you. Guys, listen to me. He loves you unconditionally. You're not going to get that from a human. No, your mother will always love you most if you have a healthy relation, not every case, but ideally your mother will always love you, but the love Christ has for you, he's never going to leave you or forsake you no matter what
Yeah.
you've done in your life.
I 100% agree.
I want to share this scripture today. So this is from the Bible app verse of the day, and it kind of goes along with our episode tonight. This is out of Ephesians, which I love the book of Ephesians. So this is Paul speaking. It's chapter 6 verse 18. Pray in the Spirit at all times. Pray with all kinds of prayers and ask for everything you need. To do this, you must always be ready. Never give up. Always pray for all of God's people. And I think you nailed that earlier, man, when you decided I'm going to put my family above the job. And I admire that, man. I wish I would have done that years ago, but I didn't. I put myself above all, and pride, what is it? Pride comes before the fall, and it's just how it is.
Dude, pride will kill us all, man.
Yeah,
Like,
it will.
and
It
to be
will.
honest, like,
It will.
humility is a learned thing, and it's not easy. Okay,
Nope.
and like, I- I've had to learn it. Now, well, I've been forced to learn it. Okay, and
Yeah, me too. Me too.
but that's okay. You know,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
always getting better. I'm not perfect, man. I got a ton of work to do. There's things I need to get better at and grow with, and I'm not where I want to be yet. I don't know if I'll ever get there. Doesn't mean I'm not going to wake up tomorrow and try.
Yeah. And it's just like fitness, man. This is an ongoing journey. You have to put the work in every single day,
Consistency, man.
every day, one foot in front of the
Yep.
other. Well, I'm going to pray us out, man, unless you want to lead us.
Go for it, brother. I love it.
All right, here we go. Father, thank you so much for today. Thank you for Brother Brady, and thank you for just having this platform, Lord, where we can talk about mental health and just reach those men and women out there, Lord, that are struggling, that may feel alone and feel this loss in this world. Lord, I pray that you will cover every listener, every viewer with your blood. Let them know that they are loved and that you care for them, Lord. And I just pray that we can live our lives, Brady and I both, in peace through you, Lord, and power through the Holy Spirit and purpose through your will. I pray we can just continue to stay in mission forward and just spread the gospel of you, Lord, and also to spread awareness for mental health. Thank you so much for all that you do in our lives. Please lead us, guide us, and forgive us of our sins. Amen.
Amen.
If you got something
Thank
out of
you.
this episode tonight, make sure to share it with someone. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss an episode. New episodes drop every week. Brady, thank you for coming on tonight, man. I enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you for having me. I know I'm not the most famous dude, but hey, I appreciate it, brother.
You're more you got a big profile, man. You get a lot of
No, dude.
traffic
No.
on
Hey,
Instagram, man.
I really appreciate it, man. And I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you. Like, honestly, you're a good dude, man. I'm glad
Thanks,
that you
man.
came into my life.
Thanks. Thank you. And that goes both ways, brother. And I want to say this. Thank you for trusting me enough to share your story. And also thank you for being so open when we first started talking, because we met through Travis Sparks, who's another police officer down in Georgia. I'm in Tennessee. But man, God has made all these connections. And I'm going to share this real quick as we're closing. Almost every guest that I've had on this show has come from a connection from someone. And I would not have made those connections without just good men in my life. So not only is this show to help men and help, help women too, but it's helping me with my mental health, and it's developing friendships and bonds with men that I wouldn't have had without it. So I'm grateful for you, man. I really am.
Absolutely. I feel the same way. Hey man,
Well,
my
yeah,
foundation is the same thing. It's therapy for me too, dude.
yeah,
So I'm the
yeah.
same thing.
I believe it. Well, let me know when you want me to. I got to get a real ID. I can't fly right now, but let me know when you want me to come to
Well, dude,
Utah.
hey, well, serious. We'll work it out, man. Seriously,
Yeah,
I'd love to have you
I'll
out.
I'd love to come out, man. It'd
We'll
be
build a
awesome.
whole event around it. People come out to see it, brother.
Yeah, that'd be
You're a
awesome,
good
man.
man.
Hey, you're a good man too, brother. I appreciate you.
All right,
God
guy.
bless, man. All right, man.
You
God
too.
bless.